To keep a record-setting ball, you're a tackle-eligible offensive lineman.
Definitely Janoris. Gosh, what a way to score.
Every now and then, the NFL preseason gives us a story that has nothing to do with playbooks, schemes, or final scores. A story so raw and dramatic that it bleeds beyond the field and into headlines, locker rooms, and the endless swirl of social media. What happened in Cleveland this preseason wasn't about X's and O's. It wasn't about a touchdown drive or a blown assignment. It was about words, pride, and a family name that carries weight like few others in football history. This was about a rookie quarterback, Dillon Gabriel, stepping into the most unforgiving spotlight in professional sports. And a father, not just any father, but Dillon Sanders, making sure no one disrespected his son, Shedeur. What began as an offhand comment in a sideline interview has now grown into one of the most talked about controversies of the summer, a saga that has turned a quarterback competition into a full-blown drama where every glance, every headline,
anyway, anything that helps us to win. So
first game without Tez in the lineup.
and every whispered text feels like part of the script. It began innocently enough. Dillon Gabriel, the Browns' rookie third-round pick, had been thrown into the chaos of preseason football. For most young quarterbacks, it's a chance to prove yourself, to soak in every rep and silence the critics who wonder if you belong. Gabriel had been grinding through camp, pushing himself against the noise and the pressure that always hovers around a city like Cleveland. And yet, under the bright lights, frustration crept in, mistakes piled up, nerves showed, and when the cameras caught him on the sideline, what should have been a routine interview became the spark that lit the fire. Asked about the pressure of the quarterback competition, Gabriel gave an answer that some dismissed as competitive banter, but then he mentioned Shedeur Sanders. It wasn't a direct insult, not the kind of trash talk you'd expect to go viral, but the tone, the phrasing, and the timing made it sting. To some ears, it sounded like Gabriel was questioning Shedeur's legitimacy, implying that the young Sanders was more hype than substance.
Concern yourself with those results, but is it a reminder perhaps that winning is hard, and for as much as you guys might see to clean up from a game like this, it's also nice to come away with the result you want.
Maybe Gabriel thought he was just defending himself. Maybe he thought his words would disappear into the endless noise of preseason chatter. But in today's NFL, nothing disappears. Every soundbite gets clipped, dissected, and passed around within minutes. And there was one man listening who would never let a jab at his son go unanswered. Dillon Sanders, Coach Prime, Hall of Famer, cultural icon, and proud father. A man whose entire career has been built on swagger, loyalty, and the refusal to let disrespect slide. Dillon has made a reputation as someone who protects his players, his family, and his name with unrelenting fire. And when Dillon Gabriel's sideline remarks floated back to him, Sanders chose to respond. Not with a press conference, not with a veiled tweet, but with something far sharper, a text message. The details leaked quickly, because in the NFL, secrets don't stay secret for long. According to reports, Sanders' message to Gabriel wasn't long, but it was lethal. One insider described it as part fatherly warning, part Hall of Fame clapback.
Running football and make it look a little cleaner for sure.
Dillon allegedly told Gabriel to watch your mouth when you speak about my son, making it clear that Shedeur's rise wasn't built on hype. It was earned. He reminded the rookie that respect is not optional, especially when you're still fighting for a spot. And then came the line that went viral almost instantly, the one that was screenshotted, quoted, and plastered across fan pages and talk shows alike. Respect greatness, or get used to watching it from the sideline. For Dillon Gabriel, those words cut deeper than any defensive back he'd faced in college. For the Browns locker room, it was gasoline on a smoldering fire. Within hours, whispers spread like wildfire. Teammates passed phones around, shaking their heads. Some laughed, saying Gabriel got exactly what he deserved. Others rolled their eyes, muttering that Dillon had no business stepping into an NFL locker room dispute.
Ships to people, Janoris catching that touchdown. Things like that is things I'll remember, not necessarily, a record book.
But one thing was undeniable. What should have been a forgettable sideline interview had become the defining story of the preseason. Inside the Browns facility, the divide was real. Younger players, many of whom grew up idolizing Dillon Sanders, sided with him. They admired his loyalty, respected his bluntness, and felt Gabriel had broken one of the unspoken rules of the league. Rookies keep their heads down. Earn your stripes, prove yourself on the field, and leave the interviews to veterans. To them, Dillon's words were simply saying out loud what everyone else was thinking. But for some veterans, the text was a violation of sacred ground. They saw the NFL as a league of men who fight their own battles, and the idea of a father, even one as legendary as Dillon, inserting himself into the fray rubbed them the wrong way. "This ain't Boulder anymore," one player reportedly muttered. "This is the league." That split wasn't just a locker room quirk. It was the start of a deeper question about boundaries, respect, and what it means to compete in a league where every action is magnified. And for Dillon Gabriel, the fallout was brutal. Suddenly, he wasn't just fighting for snaps on the practice field. He was fighting a narrative.
Are you in on that, or are you ever caught off guard by a call like that?
I have been caught off guard in the past. I did know about this one. But
a narrative that painted him as insecure, rattled, and out of his depth. The media wasted no time amplifying the drama. Local radio stations lit up with callers, some applauding Dillon for defending his son, others furious that a college coach turned celebrity dad was meddling in NFL business. One headline summed it up bluntly. Coach Prime texts rookie quarterback, "Watch your mouth." ESPN panels dissected the story. FS1 spun it into another chapter of Cleveland's endless quarterback saga. Even late-night comedians joined in, joking that Dillon might be the only father in America recruiting for his son in the middle of an NFL locker room. And social media? That's where the story truly exploded. Clips of Gabriel's original interview were stitched next to graphics of Dillon's alleged text, captioned with flames, mockery, and endless memes. The phrase, "respect greatness," trended nationwide.
Hey, first of all, congrats on breaking the touchdown record.
thank you.
I want to ask you,
Turning into both a rallying cry for Browns fans and a punchline for rival supporters. Memes flooded Twitter and Instagram, some showing Gabriel tossing his phone away in panic, others mocking his stat lines with captions like, "Talk less, play better." When one viral tweet read, "Dillon Gabriel talking about Shedeur Sanders is like the opening act disrespecting the headliner." Thousands liked and shared it within hours. Dillon Sanders' role in all this remains the most fascinating piece. For some, he is simply a father defending his son. Nothing more, nothing less. For others, he is a larger-than-life figure who crossed a line that should never be crossed, a reminder that in the NFL, family ties can complicate everything. His defenders argue that Gabriel took the first shot, that Dillon simply finished it. His critics say that even if Gabriel was wrong, Dillon's involvement makes Shedeur look dependent, as if his father has to fight his battles for him. And that's the paradox. In trying to shield his son, did Dillon make him stronger in the eyes of the fans? Or did he hand his critics ammunition that will follow Shedeur throughout his career? For Dillon Gabriel, the consequences are far more immediate. His reputation, once tied to promise and potential, is now tethered to this controversy.
To that, and I say that because, you know, when there's a pass interference call and maybe necessarily you don't agree with it or what it may be, naturally that those puts you.
In just days, he went from an intriguing rookie to a player viewed as insecure, thin-skinned, and rattled. That label is hard to shake in a league where confidence is everything, and every rep he takes now, every throw he makes, will be judged. Not just by mechanics, but by body language. Is he calm? Is he composed? Or is he still carrying the weight of Dillon's text? Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders hardly has to do anything. The story, the drama, the headlines, all of it builds his case without him speaking a word. To fans, he is the unbothered rookie, the quarterback who lets his play talk while others get lost in the noise. To coaches, he looks like the steady hand Cleveland desperately needs. To the city, he is quickly becoming the face of a future that once felt impossible. And that's where this story becomes more than just a preseason distraction.
A meeting, you know, I point out those three guys in particular, Janoris, Kavika, and Dave, you know, and we talked about got your six this week, got your back.
Because in Cleveland, quarterback controversies don't just shape seasons, they define eras. And this one, sparked by a sideline interview and a father's savage text, might go down as the rivalry that ended before it ever truly began. Dillon, Gabriel may still have time to prove himself, to reset the narrative and reclaim the locker room, but right now, the story belongs to Shedeur Sanders, and once a city decides it has found its quarterback, it's almost impossible to convince them otherwise. So the question remains, did Dillon Sanders simply do what any father would, defend his son when his name was dragged into the mud? Or did he step over a line that no father should cross in the NFL? And more importantly, in the chaos of Cleveland's quarterback room. Has the future already been decided? This is Huddle HQ. Thank you for watching. What do you think? Did Dillon Sanders go too far, or was he right to protect his son at all costs? And does Dillon Gabriel have any chance of bouncing back from this? Or has Shedeur already won before the season even begins? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure you're subscribed for more NFL drama, because this story is only just getting started.